Thank y'all so much for having us today. It's an honor and a privilege to be up here and to share the story of the Pig Jig. I want to take a few moments to talk about my illness and the path I've been on, and then I'll hand it over to Chris, who will tell you more about the Pig Jig and the event and how it's come together. I was diagnosed with a rare kidney disease back in 2008 after graduating with a master's in forestry and just months before heading to Kenya to work for a conservation organization. Immediately, I began to have numerous symptoms and was quickly diagnosed with focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. I'm not sure I said that right. It's called FSGS for short, though. It's an autoimmune disease where the body attacks the kidney, and over time, it scars it to the point where the kidney no longer works. My doctors put me on steroids, immunosuppressants, and even chemotherapy, but none of them were effective. I was in and out of the hospital, and my body took a severe beating. Ultimately, 18 months after diagnosis, my kidneys failed, and I was put on dialysis at the age of 26. Soon after, we learned that my mom was a match for a kidney transplant. This was some of the best news we had received. And not only was she a match, but a perfect match. 9 months after I started dialysis, my mom donated one of her kidneys. Unfortunately, within 24 hours, we learned that the disease had come back and was attacking the kidney my mom had just given me. A month after the transplant, they had to take it out, and I was put back on dialysis. That was over 10 years ago. This past March was 11 years on dialysis. I calculated that I had spent roughly 11,544 hours on dialysis, or about 481 days. Dialysis is not fun. It can cause cramps, headaches, numerous types of pain, nausea, and you always feel bad afterwards. But it keeps me alive, so I don't complain too much. Throughout my disease, I've been bolstered by a number of things, including my family and my faith. I've been fortunate to have a family who could support me and love me through my ups and my downs. And my faith has also been vital. My story isn't one of healing. I've gotten sick and sick and sicker. Unfortunately, I've been hit with bad news and failed treatment after failed treatment. Yet, in spite of all of this, I have deeply, deeply known God's grace and presence throughout. It has been a source of light and hope amid darkness and despair. In addition to this, I've also had the unending support of friends. Look around at the folks sitting next to you. There's no telling how these people, these brothers, these friends, will come to your support and aid later on in life. 20 years ago, I was sitting in the old chapel back there right next to Chris, and neither one of us had any clue how our lives would unfold. When I was put on dialysis, the doctors told me I would be on it until a cure or treatment was found. It was basically a life sentence. Chris decided that wasn't how things had to be. He organized our friends and started a backyard barbecue that has grown into one of Tampa's largest events, and it's been one of the premier fundraisers for my disease. I'll let him tell you more about that, but I want to share a fact with you. When I was diagnosed, there were only 2 treatments on the market being developed. Today, about 10 years later, because of the Pig Jig, there are over 26 drugs being developed right now. That's all to the efforts of my friend and specifically to Chris. And that is going to be the reason that I get a transplant in a couple of years. So when I do, it'll be because of someone that sat next to me in this chapel 20 years ago. I'm going to hand it over to Chris now. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm going to start with why. Why does the Pig Jig exist? Well, Will just told you why, right? He told you that right here in the old chapel, Will and I, for 4 years in a row, every single day, came to Jesuit and sat literally right next to each other. Our last names are right next to each other in the alphabet, right here. And shortly after graduating from coming back from grad school, as Will told you, this happened. He got diagnosed with this rare disease that we didn't know how to spell. And we banded together. 4 of us founded the Pig Jig. 4 of the 7 founding members were Jesuit brothers, our Jesuit brothers. And it was a simple plan. Let's help Will. We had no idea what this would become today. So a simple plan. We love cooking barbecue. We like music. We like football on fall Saturdays. And our friends do too. So why don't we invite all of our friends and do something, raise some money for Will, and see if we can make a better life for him. So about 3 weeks after we decided to do that, 100 of our friends showed up in a backyard in South Tampa, and we raised about $6,000. And I'm standing here today with our 10th anniversary ahead of us next Saturday at Julian B. Lane Waterfront Park. And I'm proud to say that since that time, we have now raised over $5 million for NephCure Kidney International. And as you heard from Will, there are 26 drugs in clinical trials, and a few of those have a real shot to give Will a chance to get off dialysis and live a normal life. So how do we do this? How do we go from this small backyard barbecue to raising over $5 million and now having drugs very close that give a chance to cure this very rare disease? Well, we leverage the principles that we learned right here at Jesuit in order to do this. 1, being a man for others. Freedom, brotherhood, friendship, and service. Who's heard those words before in here, right? We say them probably almost every day here at Jesuit. Those are the principles that we leveraged to take just a simple idea, to take action. Freedom, right? Freedom, you got a choice. At some point in each of your lives, one of your brothers, whether it's a brother that's here in this chapel with us right now, or another brother in your life, is going to need help. And you have the freedom to take action. So we took action. We started small, right? Brotherhood. We banded together, a group of us that started here in this chapel and then rallied a community around us, right? And that community, Jesuit members, Jesuit graduates, Jesuit alum have banded together to support, to sponsor, to buy tickets, to organize the event, to bring food, right? And this thing has gone from 100 people in a backyard, and now not only are we expecting over 10,000 people at the park next Saturday, there's pig jigs from California all the way to New Jersey. And that all started right here with brothers, Jesuit brothers. Service, right? It's obvious here. Be of service. Be a man for others. Make a difference. We decided that we had to do something. There wasn't a choice. That was instilled in us right here. We had to go make a difference. Now, we had no idea at the time that what we've created was possible, but we started small, simple. Let's go do something. We just need to help. We don't know how we're going to help, but we're going to get together and we're going to figure it out. And here we are. Friendship. Why is that relevant? Well, how has this thing grown? How has the Pig Jig gone from a little backyard barbecue to pig jigs all across the country, raising millions of dollars, creating opportunities for Will with a very rare disease to live a normal life? We rallied friends. Our friends pulled together, and a small group of friends turned into a big group of friends. And we leveraged our friendships to grow, to make a difference. At some point in your life, that time is going to come. And what I want you to remember about today is take action. When that time comes, when somebody is in need that's in your life, whether they're sitting here today, or they're at home, or there's someone you haven't even met yet, take action. Do something. It can be the smallest thing, and you can't imagine how that can change someone's life, and it can change your life, and it can change the world. I hope to see many of you all next Saturday at Julian B. Lane Park. Still have opportunities to volunteer. Hopefully a lot of you guys already have tickets. I know many people have been out volunteering in years past. Next Saturday, if you want to learn more about the Pig Jig, I have a limited time this morning, but tampapigjig.com is an incredible resource for that. And I'm also happy to talk or meet with you guys, anybody here individually, to kind of talk more about the details, because we have a limited amount of time this morning. But I appreciate the opportunity to be here today in front of you guys, getting to share a little bit about our story, and for you to get to see Will. I hope to see many of you guys next Saturday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Go Tigers.